Welcome back to the Junkyard Dogcast. Georgia improves to 2-0 on the year with another ho-hum win over a non-conference opponent that Georgia was projected to win by over 40. I think 42.5 to 44 was probably the Vegas line for most of the week. And, well, they won by 42, 45 to 3. Another slow start for Georgia offensively. I think, again, that first and second quarter still trying for everyone to get in sync and get on the same page there. And obviously not having guys like Glad McConkey out there. Dajon Edwards didn't go either. And then, if you would have told someone that, Brock Bowers was going to have, one catch for 3 yards in the game, you're probably going to think that the numbers weren't very impressive for Georgia's offense. But in the end, Carson Beck got things clicking. Outstanding second quarter where Georgia should have had, 38 points in the quarter. A tough offensive pass interference call on Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint there in the end zone. Prevents Georgia from scoring another touchdown. They ended up settling for a field goal on that drive. But overall, I think you got to be pretty happy with that second quarter. The team kind of came alive and got it together and started to hum a little bit against the team that, they should have performed like that against. In the end, Georgia's defense once again came to play when they needed them to, with multiple interceptions in this game. 3 interceptions by the Georgia defensive backs really helped set Georgia up in that second quarter. They scored after every one of those interceptions, so that was real big for Georgia overall to kind of get on the same page, get the ball rolling after a scoreless first quarter that had people wondering, what is this team's identity? And I think after this game, you're probably still wondering that. And that's kind of what we told you heading into the season. We were not going to learn about this Georgia team in the first couple of weeks. And I think they're kind of playing like that. They're still trying to figure themselves out there. I think one thing you had to really be impressed with, though, is Waffle House. Mekhi Mews out there sparking the team with the first punt return touchdown in exactly 5 years, September 15th, 2018 being the last one by Mecole Hardman. Outstanding performance again for the second week in a row, and really third game in a row if you're going to count that G-Day, where Mekhi Mews has been kind of the team's MVP, putting the team on his back. Once again, a walk-on, stepping in and sparking the offense. Where have we heard that before? Just a really outstanding day for him. And the emergence of Dillon Bell at running back, a guy that played running back in high school, had like 1,400 rushing yards, a big find by Georgia in summer camp, offering him as a wide receiver. He's still playing some wide receiver, but those plays he made out of the backfield for Dillon Bell, the 3 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown, making those defenders miss in the open field. Those are obviously plays that this showcase a natural instinct at the running back position. It's going to be tough to not continue to give Dillon Bell some carries out of the backfield. He looks really good out there, guys. Really impressed by him. When Georgia really needed a spark, he was there, not getting a lot of broken tackles or missed tackles out of the backfield by the running backs. I think Dillon came through when they really needed him to. And so overall, that second quarter, Carson Beck settles down, has himself a pretty nice day. That interception, can't put that on him. That was a catchable ball and, should have been caught. But really, it was a play where I think he thought that the defensive lineman was encroached. He was offsides, thought he had a free play and took a shot down the field. And still looking back on that, it kind of looked like the defensive lineman was leading into the center and lunging forward. So if you're the quarterback, I mean, just throwing it downfield's the right call there. But the refs in this game, they left a lot to be desired out there. A lot of flags that probably should have been kept in the pocket, and then at the same time, a lot of holding calls that the flags were kept in the pocket inexplicably. So Georgia overcame that. Some ref calls there, and still overall played an outstanding game. A lot of young talent on both sides of the ball. I think you go into the next week, you got South Carolina coming to town. You continue to ramp things up. You went from UT Martin to Ball State. Now you're going to go from Ball State to South Carolina to open SEC play. Georgia cannot afford to start the way they've started the first two games this season. A slow start will kind of put them behind the eight ball and probably test them a little bit more than they might be comfortable with at this point in the year. I think, again, reps are important for Carson Beck. I think the more he gets, the better and more comfortable he's going to look out there. A lot of solid checkdowns, but continue to go through your progressions. Be confident in your playmakers and step up in the pocket when you need to make some plays down the field. That's going to be that next step for Carson Beck. I think he took some steps in that direction today. You just got to continue to do that. And I just think that, again, you look at last week, Georgia punted on 3 of its first 4 possessions. So again, can't start like that. But then this week, 31 second quarter points. Like I said, it should have been 35. And it looks a lot different on the scoreboard if they do that. So I think if they can come out next week, with a little bit more continuity and a little bit more chemistry early on, probably going to play a huge role in how that game goes, especially if they can get Ladd McConkey back. Getting Marcus Rosemy-Jacksaint back this week, you could already tell the impact that had in this game. That's a guy that he trusts. He threw the ball to, and he made plays. He had that 10-yard touchdown catch where he threw him open across the middle. Outstanding play call there. And at the same time, you look at guys like Ra Thomas making an impact. You look at Oscar Delp with the leap over the defender. Impressive game by him. Arian Smith, had another big deep pass. He's good for 1 or 2 of those every game that he's on the field. Keep him healthy will be big. So I think for Georgia, the positive you take from this is that Carson Beck got the ball to a lot of different playmakers, more confidence in running the offense. And the defense, made a lot of big plays on the ball. Outstanding instinct and reaction by Chaz Chambliss. One of the more, I guess, freaky interceptions you're going to see out there from him. Just a really, really solid play by him. But I liked what you see from the DBs. Not afraid to come up and make tackles on the ball carrier, on the running back. Saw A.J. Harris made an outstanding play in that regard, but Dalen Everett, outstanding coverage by him. Now in Green looked really good as well. Malachi Starks and Tyke Smith are just incredible out there at safety, and you want to make sure that that your DBs like Javon Bullard, seeing him in a boot on the sideline, him being healthy and that not being a serious injury is what we're going to be looking for today and in the coming days to make sure he can get back out there. Really liked what I saw from Gabe Harris playing, defensive end. Looked really comfortable in that role already and making some plays, winning some one-on-one battles against the offensive lineman. Really impressed by him as well. So overall, still some things to work on. That one drive that stalled out and resulted in a missed field goal right there, in the red zone. Still some things to iron out there in the kicking game, but also those red zone play calls when you get inside the 10. That offensive line has to be able to get a better push at the line of scrimmage, not just in the red zone, but overall in this game. The run blocking still left a lot to be desired, and that is something that we've seen before from Georgia, where the offensive line early on in the year, isn't really getting the level of physicality that Kirby Smart and really a winning football team needs. I think that's going to be something that continues to be, impressed upon these guys in practice, because they're about to ramp it up. It's SEC play. So I think that is the one aspect right now, not quarterback play, not Carson Beck, but that offensive line has to come together. Pass protections overall was okay, but I think the run blocking is going to have to get better if this offense is going to be able to be unpredictable and allow Carson Beck to make plays off play action like he did today. It's the big key moving forward for this Georgia offense, and something that we're going to need to see more improvement from next week against South Carolina. But overall, I think a solid showing, a near shutout against a Mid-Atlantic Conference opponent is still a good thing. It allowing less than 230 yards of offense, still a good thing. Getting 3 interceptions, still a good thing. I think that's a solid showing from the defense. Mostly clean play from that offense. That Oscar Delp throw was probably one of my favorite plays today. That's something that really opens things up when you can make plays down the sideline and make a throw like that. You're going to have a good day at the quarterback position, and I think they did. So that missed field goal from Peyton Woodring is one that he's going to have to do better than that. I don't recall a missed field goal under 30 yards. Really, I mean, it may have been close to 10 years. I was trying to think of the last one Georgia had. It's probably been close to 10 years since they had one. So that and the offensive line run blocking, things to work on next week as Georgia prepares for South Carolina. We'll break that down more next week. But for this edition of the Junkyard Dogcast, I'm Kip Adams. You guys have a great weekend.